Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Now that my two informative videos are done for the day, it's time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. So let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing, work on skilling up my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this channel called Enhanced Athlete. Now, a few people have asked me over the last few months what do I think about them, and I've just kind of left it alone. I haven't really had a chance to look at it close till some other people I know said, wow, now that Rich Piana has killed himself with his drug abuse, it looks like these guys are trying to take his place. And these are some coaches discussing this over on some social media that I was looking at. I went and took a closer look, and I'm going to be upfront with you guys. Let me just be upfront. I'm not anti-gear. I'm anti-abusive gear. All right, and my definition of abuse might be different than someone else's definition of abuse. I honestly, quite frankly, have no problem with mature adults over the age of 21, and I do mean that very clearly when I say 21, making an informed decision of what to do with their own body. Now, I hope they do so under the care of a medical doctor. Of making an informed decision of what to do with their body. Look, guys, I've been involved in powerlifting. I've been involved in other sports. We all know tons of people are on drugs, okay? Most athletes are on drugs. Most athletes use stuff. And, you know, that's kind of one of the big deals we run into here on YouTube is so many people saying, look, why do all these guys lie? We have all these fake natties. Well, here's the reality of it. I'm not sure that all these impressionable kids really need to know what these guys really use, because it's usually abuse. And that's the big problem we have. Is that we got guys like Simi and Panda who are clearly abusers, not users, abusers, abusing probably excessive amounts of these things, claiming they're natty, and they get so defensive about it and everything else. All right, there's a big discrepancy and actually variation in how much of different things people use in stacking doses and stuff. That's the reality of the world we live in. People are always like, man, I love that Rich Piana is honest about what he does. No, Rich Piana was only honest about his anabolics. He wasn't honest about his site enhancement. He refused to be honest about his site enhancement. He used mind-boggling amounts of site enhancement. That dude had pounds and pounds and pounds of fake muscle on his body. At least 3 different types of site enhancement. Clearly visible to the trained eye. He wasn't honest about everything he did. I don't know why people have that idea. But all his drug abuse killed him. He's dead. You know, and then we have people like Enhanced Athlete. And I watched just a little bit to get some idea of kind of what the guy's about. I don't think this guy's really a doctor. I'm just going to throw that out there. Maybe he is. Maybe he is. I don't think he is. Not sure what kind of doctor would be telling people to take DNP and insulin. And that's kind of the problem of where I run into this stuff. There's a big difference between conservative use of anabolics. Because, you know, people talk about, well, it's a lot of these guys, Franco Colombo, Frank Zane, all these guys are still alive. Yeah, do you really think they abuse things? They use very conservative amounts. We're seeing kids now in gyms who are abusing, and they don't have the size or anything to go with it because of the work ethic. They're gaining muscle, and you will gain muscle. You gain muscle on these things if you don't lift. That's scientifically documented. All right, that is documented. That's proven. That's not even up for debate. They have no clue how to train, so they're gaining muscle anyways. But they are abusing. And that's the things that bothered me when I looked at this channel. The little bit of stuff I saw, he's trying to pretend that he's all about health, and he's not. He is flat talking about abuse. I'm going to be honest. Anyone who talks to you about using DNP or insulin is promoting drug abuse. All right, there is no safe way to use these substances to alter your physique or your body composition. Okay, these are substances that are high risk no matter what you do. Insulin is what killed Dallas McCarver. All right, insulin is what killed him, and I'm almost positive of it looking at the thing. All right, he dropped dead, 27 years old, dead as a doornail. That's what insulin does to you. And no one in their right mind advocates that anybody do that. Now, people say, well, pro bodybuilders have to get the sizes they want to be at. That's right, and no sane person would ever tell anybody to get involved in pro bodybuilding. No moral person would ever encourage another human being to get involved in pro bodybuilding, and that's kind of the point. Doesn't matter what some pro bodybuilders have to do. Doesn't matter what they have to do. That's irrelevant because every person who has a single drop of human decency would never encourage anyone who they don't hate to get involved in pro bodybuilding. It's a death sentence. So yes, they have to use insulin as part of their stack to get that big. But it's deadly, it's dangerous, and it's stupid to even discuss its use in an open forum like that, particularly YouTube. I think it's irresponsible and reckless. Should not be encouraged at all. Don't care what pro bodybuilders are doing. We need to shut down pro bodybuilding anyways. It's it's an abomination. Same thing. He's talking about DNP in his own DNP experiments. DNP kills 1% of people who take it. Are you guys really that scared of dieting and cardio so much that you say, man, I have to be able to eat pizza 3 times a week. If I don't get to eat pizza 3 times a week, I just can't live without it. I'd rather use a substance that's going to let me keep eating pizza and keep eating tons of garbage and go ahead and lose weight. And I don't care if it kills me. Well, it kills 1% of people. When I lived in the UK, and I've talked about it back there, that stuff killed 6 people in the UK on average every single year. That little bitty country, guys. All right, it's smaller than the state of Texas where I live. The United Kingdom is smaller than Texas, the state I live in right now. That stuff killed 6 people every single year. It also hospitalized multiple. One guy had to have a big chunk of his leg cut out because it killed the leg muscle and caused necrosis over a giant section of his leg from his body getting too hot. It causes organ damage. It also gives brain damage to 1% of people who use it. So when you take a substance like that, out of all the people out there who use it, about 1% of them seem to die from it. Another 1% suffer brain damage and become mentally retarded. You know, you guys go around doing that. What do you think is going to happen if you burn out brain cells on it because it heats your brain up too much? You're going to be walking around like Jason Genova or Jerry Ward. Okay, that's what it's going to do to you. You're going to be mentally handicapped. So again, this guy is encouraging the use of DNP. Totally irresponsible. And I'll go so far as to say that IGF-1 is probably real close to, if not being on that list. You know what, I'll say anyone encouraging IGF-1 use is probably on that list of discussing abuse. IGF-1 does cause a lot of problems, even causes insulin insensitivity issues, all sorts of problems with your organs swelling, like your distended abdomen. IGF-1 contributes to that, and I think it's because it causes the buildup of visceral fat, and I think that's another reason that contributes to the insulin resistance that people who use it seem to develop. All right, it's problematic. Furthermore, that is a substance that could very well contribute to cancer. Like if you want to have a direct look at biochemistry in the human body, that is a substance right there that is very, very likely to exacerbate any existing tumors or cancer cells trying to form in your body. That will grow them really, really fast. It'll grow them faster than it'll grow muscle. All right? Anybody encouraging that substance, I just can't get behind that. I'm sorry, not going to do it. Now, the thing is, he interviewed this other guy on here, and I guess he's a regular, if not a sidekick of the show, and I watched a thing of them discussing reverse cycles, and the guy sounded really responsible, telling guys, oh, use very conservative amounts to start, and if you build up slowly, you can really look after your health, and this can be done healthily. Now, this is a guy who admits he uses massive amounts of growth hormone, grams and grams of gear, and uses insulin. All right, any person who uses a stack like that has no business talking to anyone else about how to do things healthily, because that jackass is going to drop dead. That dumbass talking, giving that advice, talking to people about their health, is going to be the next Rich Piana. He's going to drop dead from the stuff he's abusing. And that guy really and truly has no business talking about, oh, the healthy way to do it. And if you do it this way, you can look up. No, you can't. You can't use much more than what he recommended these kids start on without risking your health. You just can't. You can't blast a gram of gear and expect to have pretty blood work. You can't blast a gram of gear and expect to not develop cardiovascular disease eventually. All right, you just can't. You can't be abusing heavy amounts like that. And a lot of people are like, a gram isn't that heavy. Yeah, by today's standards, I know it's not. And that's kind of the point I'm making. And then you have these ass clowns talking about it and encouraging it. And what bothered me even more, that same guy said, well, your age doesn't even matter. You know, I mean, if a 16-year-old, a teenager has the knowledge, that's all that really matters. Yeah, that does matter. And again, so we got a channel who's people on there endorsing, saying, yeah, it's fine for teenagers to, go ahead and get started. Are you serious? No, it's not. It's not okay. I'm sorry, I can't get behind that. I think this is a reckless, dangerous channel. I think it's just as dangerous and stupid as what Rich Piana put out. Yes, they're more educated and knowledgeable about the substances, but the advice itself is dangerous. It's reckless. It's going to get people hurt. It is. And I'm all for free speech. All right, I think people should have a right to say what they want. They should have a right to discuss what they want. I quite frankly think our drug laws, even in the U.S., are way over the top, just in general. I do think they need to be reeled way back in. All right, I am leaning in the direction of being a libertarian conservative. I think our drug laws are a bit over the top, a bit extreme. More than a bit. But at a certain point, you got to look at this and say, all right, this is just dangerous advice. And then even the worst part, I didn't even watch it, but he had a video discussing ketogenic diets for bodybuilders and with anabolics. And it's like, I'm sorry, ketogenic diets will kill you. If you're looking at the newest data like I've been looking at, we know ketogenic diets are going to cause hardening of your arteries. All right, you can't really reasonably debate against that anymore. Well, anabolic abuse also accelerates the hardening of your arteries. Anyone who is using anabolics needs to stay the hell away from ketogenic diets. That's another reason we know guys like Junkie Ward, aka the Crypt Keeper, Mark Pocketliner, and then Mike Rashid. We all know they're not going to live real long. Mike Rashid was running around using a bunch of Tren, because we know he got a bunch of it from WFN when he was affiliated with them. We've seen all the packing slips. Using a bunch of Tren, running ketogenic diets, up in his 40s. There's people telling me he's my age. I didn't know he was my age. I guess he is. Running ketogenic diets in your 40s after abusing all that Tren and orals? No, he's going to drop dead. All right, those guys are all going to die from this. You shouldn't even be discussing ketogenic diets for gear users. Come on. Again, this whole channel, yeah, sure, they're finally telling the truth, and they're actually telling you what all your favorite YouTubers really are doing, because a lot of them are abusing a lot of these things at abuse levels while claiming natty. So someone's being honest about it, but they're also telling people how to kill themselves with it too. The advice given there, the little bit I've seen, is reckless. It is dangerous. It is going to get people hurt. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.